Hi everyone, this is Richard. In this video, we're going to go over events. So I wanted to go over a few of these other features, but for right now, I just learned this, and so I wanted to go ahead and make a video and document it. All right, so I have this image. Okay, it's Firefox. It's going to drop all the way to the bottom. Let's do a few things. First of all, it's dropping all the way to the bottom. Where is it going? Well, the height of this stage is 800. And how do I know? Because I set it to be 800 right over here. Height equals 800. Height equals height. Okay? So it's 800. And now the image is dropping all the way to the bottom. So it's dropping all the way down to 800. Falling animate Y to 800. Okay, so it's going to the bottom. But when you look at the image in and of itself, let's go right around here. This is a certain number of pixels in height. Okay, so it's like a box. The 0 pixel is right here. So what's happening is this image, this part of the pixel, it's probably closer right up here, this pixel 0 is going all the way down to 800. So the entire image is actually below right inside of here. What do I want to do? Because I don't want it to go all the way underneath the screen. I want it to be able to touch the bottom of the image. The bottom of Firefox right here should be touching the bottom right over here. How do I do that? Well, what I'm going to have to do is, instead of falling all the way to the 800, I'm going to want this part to fall 800, not this part. So what do? Well, I will subtract 800 minus the height of the image itself. Okay, so it won't actually fall all the way down to the bottom, but it'll fall all the way right here, which is the top of the image, and the bottom will touch there. Okay, so how do I find the height of the image? Okay, so I will go inside of here and say, use the Firefox Resource Manager. So remember, we talked about the Firefox Resource Manager. It contains information about the image Firefox from right here. So I'll say Firefox height equals resourceManager.height. So it'll give me the height of the image. I could have used width as well. Okay, so Firefox height, so that's an int. And then I'm going to say, instead of falling to animate to height, I'm going to say height minus Firefox height. And let's try that instead, okay? Great, so it falls just to the bottom right there, okay? So now what I want to do is actually, if I clicked on the image itself, I want it to float up a little bit. So, okay, look at this. It's falling down slowly then fast, okay? So it's kind of like accelerating like gravity, okay? So it's falling with gravity relatively quickly with a 1 right there. What I want to do is if I click it, I want it to jump up a little bit, kind of like, the game Flappy Birds. When you click on it, the bird kind of flaps up a little bit. Well, Firefox isn't going to flap because Firefox is a little bit stubborn, but at least I'll see if I can nudge Firefox up while it falls down to gravity, okay? So what I'll do is you have to open up a stream, sprite Firefox, this image right here, right? The sprite, on mouse click .listen. So we're going to open up a stream and say lift Firefox because we need a new tween, right? Because what I'm saying is that I want something here and something up here. So what is it going to do in between? It's going to go straight up there. And I'm going to make it a straight up the same speed, okay? You might want a reverse gravity type of thing, but I'm just going to do a straight image for right now. So I'm going to say stage.juggler.addTween, same thing as before, but it's going to be transition linear, and I'm going to make it a quick jump. Okay, and then lift Firefox.animate to 0. So I'm going to make it push up because no matter where it goes, it's going to always try to go back up to 0. Okay, so what I do is I click on it. Okay, you see that thing? So it just jumped up a little bit and it came back down and it goes all the way to the top. Okay, that's not quite the effect I want. There's two problems with this. Number one, it goes all the way to the top. And number two, if I try to catch it down here, it's hard because it's falling so fast to click on it, right? So I have to miss it. So Flappy Birds doesn't work like that because the game Flappy Bird, if you click anywhere on the screen, it'll go right back up, okay? So instead of doing the sprite Firefox.onMouseClick, why don't I do stage? So in that case, I can click anywhere on the screen and it'll go back up, okay? Right, like that, okay? Now, you're probably wondering what the heck is actually going on here. It's going up a little bit. Wait a minute. It's going up a little bit, but then the animation is continuing as it comes back down, okay? So as I click on it, it clicks up, but this tween has not finished. So it keeps going all the way to the bottom. And once that I click on it, once it's on the bottom, it goes all the way to the top. Why? Well, because it's completely done and it's not going to go anymore. So how do we do that? Well, tweens, once they're stop, they cannot be restart. You have to just redo it all over again. You cannot continue a tween all the way through. So you can't just say continue on with dropping as long as it's up here. Remember, tween is from here to here. If it's right here, it's not going to go from here to here. It's going to continue on its way until it's actually done, right? You can always stop a tween in between, but that's not this video itself. So what I'm going to say is tween Firefox. There's already a tween Firefox, so I'm going to reestablish it as being part of a thing right here, a new stage. It's going to ease in cubic. It's the same thing right here, right? So it's going to be the same thing, and I'm going to say, let's do that, and I'm going to say, animate to height minus Firefox. So the same thing exactly right here. So when I click on it, it'll go up and then it'll fall right back down just like it did right back here. Let's see if this works. Yeah. There we go. There we go. So I'm clicking on it and it's going back up and it's coming back down again. Okay? So that's one thing. So it's falling with gravity. Now, what if you notice that it's not obviously going all the way up to 0, right? It's going up a little bit. And the higher I go, the lower I fall, it jumps up quite a bit. But way up here, it jumps in just little increments. Why is that? Well, there is a little time that's in between here. And the time that it takes, it just goes much faster. So the time it takes to go from here to here is about the same as the time it takes from go to here to here. And so it's just smaller. What is actually happening is when instead of going all the way to the top, what's happening is the tween animate. When I click on this, it's starting to go up to the top, but the program immediately goes to the one below it, and that's telling it to go back down again. So as it goes up, before it hits the top, this tween kicks in and it pushes it back down again. All right. So if I want it to go up faster, what I will do is put a delay. So I will put a delay, let it go up higher before it starts falling down. And that delay is the tween delay. So what the tween delay says is that this particular tween Firefox, which is the one that wants it to drop down, wait a little bit before you implement it. So implement this, wait a second before you implement this, or 0.02 seconds, and then implement this. Okay, so let's see what actually happens if I give it a little bit of a delay. It might not be much. It might not be enough. So it's a little bit of a delay, so it jumps up a little bit. So it's kind of like Firefox's flapping, okay? If I put a little bit of a greater delay, let's just say 0.9. I'm not going to put a second because it's going to go all the way to the top, right? Oh, actually, that goes up to the top too. So it's a little bit too much of a delay, so it goes all the way up there. So that's our version. Now, this is super crude. It's not anything to, impress any of your friends with, but this is just the beginning here. So we're just getting the concepts down. A couple of things. Once a tween is done, it's done. You cannot restart it or anything like that. You have to redo it all over again. So I haven't found a good way to just redo it itself. I think you're supposed to just do it all over again. And if a tween gets canceled in between for some reason, like right here, it's starting to go up, and this one cancels it out, so it comes back down again. You cannot restart this unless you click on it one more time, okay? And you could click on it multiple times with this one, and I think that was about it. So let's keep going on, and let's see what else we can do with this, okay? Thanks.